The movie begins by showing a clan. These people lived on snow-covered mountains and hunted wild elephants. There used to be very few elephants in the mountains, sometimes none at all, which meant the clan would often go hungry. This brought great trouble and sorrow to the people. Among them was a senior woman known simply as Mother. Mother possessed a rare and sacred ability. She could speak to the soul, the sun. One day, she found a girl whom she named Evelet. A boy from the tribe, named Dile, began to develop feelings for Evelet. Dile's tribe also possessed a white rod, kept near Dile's father. Every time his father went on a hunt, he used the same white rod. Then, one night, Dile's father made a decision to embark on a journey. Before leaving, he told his friend, "I must go, but promise me that you will not tell anyone where I've gone or why." He left the white rod with his friend and then disappeared. Soon after, children from the clan began mocking Dile. They said his father had run away, fled in cowardice. But the truth was far more complex. Only his father's friend knew what had really happened. Dile felt isolated, and so did Evelet. They both longed for support, for someone who understood. When they met, their friendship blossomed, and as time passed, they began to truly care for one another. Then, one day, the wild elephants returned to the clan's territory in large numbers. The clan decided that whoever could hunt the first elephant would be given the white rod and would be allowed to marry Evelet. That person would also become the next clan leader. Evelet said to Dile, "Why don't we run away and get married?" But Dile replied, "I won't run away like my father did. I will prove myself. I will hunt the wild elephant and marry you the right way." So the clan prepared for the hunt. A massive elephant was soon spotted and trapped in a net. But the elephant was too strong. It broke through the mesh. Yet some of the netting got caught in its body, dragging along parts of it as it ran. The clan members clung to the net, trying to slow it down, but the elephant picked up speed, dragging them up a steep hill. Eventually, all the others had to let go, except for Dile. Dile was still stuck in the mesh, being pulled by the elephant. As the beast slowed, Dile saw his chance. He attacked the elephant with his spear, but it wasn't enough. The elephant charged again, and Dile, holding his white rod, struck it once more. This time, the elephant collapsed and died. The clan arrived just in time to witness the elephant's fall. Everyone celebrated Dile's victory. He was handed the white rod, and, as promised, Evelet was to be given to him in marriage. But something bothered Dile deeply. Everyone believed he had held on to the net bravely, but the truth was different. He hadn't meant to hold on. The net was tangled around his hand, and he couldn't let go even if he'd wanted to. He felt that the victory wasn't entirely his. He told Evelet, "I didn't kill the elephant with courage. It was just stuck in my rod. That's why I must return the white rod." True to his word, Dile gave back the white rod. He also gave up Evelet, allowing her to be claimed by whoever had rightfully earned her by the customs of their people. Evelet was heartbroken and angry. She loved Dile deeply, but they were bound by tradition. Their separation left both of them devastated. That night, disaster struck. Riders on horseback attacked the clan. They captured the men and women, including Evelet. Some members of the clan managed to escape with Dile. Among the survivors, Dile stood up and said, "I will bring our people back." But others were afraid. "No one has ever returned from the hills where those attackers went," they said. "It's death out there." Dile was determined. "They came from those hills, and so will I," he said. Dile and his companions followed the trail left by the enemy's horses. Their journey ahead was filled with danger. They knew that saving their people and returning alive would be almost impossible, but they were ready. They crossed to the other side of the mountains, where the land began to change. The snow gave way to dense forests. As they moved deeper into the wilderness, they saw their captured clan members, including Evelet, being taken away in chains by the attackers. At night, Dile and his companions attempted a rescue. They managed to free some of their people, but many were recaptured. During the scuffle, one of Dile's friends was injured. As they escaped, they grew hungry, and Dile went hunting. While hunting, Dile fell into a deep pit filled with trapped animals, and at the bottom was a huge, terrifying lion. It was raining, and the water level in the pit began to rise. The lion was drowning. Instead of leaving it to die, Dile looked into its eyes and made a bold offer. "I will free you," he said, "but promise me you won't eat me." The lion stared at him, and somehow Dile believed the beast understood. He freed the lion, and true to its word, the creature left without harming him. Later, Dile returned to his injured friend and told him, "I heard screams in the night." They followed the sound and discovered a village that had been attacked. As they entered, the villagers surrounded them, ready to kill them. But just then, the same lion appeared, walking calmly from the shadows. Everyone froze in fear. The lion walked straight to Dile. "I saved you," Dile said softly. "Do you remember me?" The lion stood beside him, calm and silent. The villagers were astonished. They called off their attack and brought food for Delay and his companions. Over time, they shared their language and stories. When Delay asked how they knew his language, one elder replied, "A man came to us long ago seeking a safe place. He taught us." Delay's heart pounded. "Where is that man now?" The villagers answered, "He went with our people toward a place no one ever returns from. He took something with him, something sacred. He had a mission." The elder continued, "Our prophecy says a man will come who can speak with a lion. That man will save our people." The villagers looked at Delay in awe. Words spread quickly among the nearby tribes. Delay, the lion speaker, had come. When Delay finally admitted the truth about his father, Evelet asked to father friend, "Why didn't you tell me before?" He replied, "Your father made me promise not to tell anyone. If others had known, they would have left the mountain one by one, abandoning the clan." Now, with new allies and old truths revealed, Delay led the villagers down to a great river. Some crossed by boat, but many had no way forward. They decided to walk. Ahead of them lay a vast desert, an endless sea of burning sand no one had ever crossed. Yet Delay said, "We will cross this desert. We will save our people." They set out in the morning, braving brutal heat and starvation. After many days, they reached the far side of the desert. There, they saw it. Massive pyramids rising into the sky, built by enslaved labor. Delay and his companions finally reached the end of the desert, and before them stood something no one had ever imagined. 3 colossal pyramids, rising out of the sand like mountains carved by gods. Around them, countless people were forced into slavery, dragged from all corners of the known world. Among these slaves were the members of Delay's tribe and Evelet. From a hidden vantage point, Delay watched the horror unfold. Giant stones were hauled by hand, whipped backs bent under the brutal sun. Among the slavers were tall warriors and masked beings who commanded respect through fear. But at the very top of this empire sat the Almighty, a mysterious figure veiled in gold, believed by all to be a god. Delay knew this was the man behind the pain, the one responsible for stealing their people, for ripping Evelet from his arms. That night, they made camp outside the slave city. Delay met a wise old man who had once been captured and had escaped. He said, "There was an ancient prophecy that even the gods feared. It spoke of a human chosen one marked not by accident but by fate. The mark was unlike any ordinary scar. It shimmered, mysterious and radiant, just like the celestial symbols that paint the skies at night. This mark, they believed, would belong to someone who would rise and free the enslaved clans from the grip of tyranny." One day, the question was finally asked, "Delay, do you have this mark on your body?" But Delay remained silent. He didn't answer, not because he didn't know, but because deep inside, he feared what that answer could ignite. He knew what had happened to his father, the one who had tried to lead the clans to freedom. He had been killed, betrayed, sacrificed for daring to challenge the order. Now, Delay returned to his people, but danger followed close behind. Eyes from the old gods watched. Spies moved in the shadows. The enemy struck, and a brutal battle erupted. Amid the chaos, an elder, before taking his last breath, handed Delay a glowing white rod. Sacred, ancient, powerful. The elder whispered, "This is yours now." But then, someone noticed something shocking. Had strange, shimmering marks on her hands. Marks exactly like the symbols in the sky. And just like that, Evelet was seized, dragged to their so-called god. Veiled in robes and cruelty, gave a chilling command. "Take her away, or kill her. We cannot let destiny unfold." But Delay was watching. From the shadows, he followed them, eyes locked on Evelet, heart burning with defiance. Then, their god stepped out from the sanctuary. The people scattered, hiding from his wrath. But one brave soul, an elder warrior, stepped forward and said, "Let this girl go. Let her fulfill her fate. We will not stop her this time." Delay stepped in, holding the white rod, his voice trembling but fierce. "I will carry Evelet. I'll protect her. But what of the others? What about the rest of our people?" Their god replied coldly, "They are mine now." And that was the moment Delay snapped. He threw the white rod piercing through the air, striking the god's armor and sending him staggering backward. Then Delay shouted to the crowd, "You were all once human like us. You bled like us. You suffered like us. Why do you kneel before someone who forgot your pain?" A war began, clan against clan. tyranny against hope. Delay's people fought with heart and fury, and though they won the battle, it came at a terrible cost. One of the enemy warriors, the same man who once betrayed his own people, fired an arrow straight into Evelate's chest. She collapsed, lifeless. Delay screamed. He ran to her, but she was gone. In his rage, Delay struck down her killer. His hands shook. His heart broke. He had come to save his people, but had lost the one he loved most. Then, something strange happened. The skies trembled. A warm wind swept the battlefield and began to chant. They called upon the Mother, the Ancient One who protects the innocent. And then, Evelate breathed again. Her eyes opened. The people gasped. They had just witnessed a miracle. Before the tribes left, an elder approached Delay and handed him a small satchel. Inside were seeds from a forgotten tree, one his father had always dreamed of planting. "These are your future," the elder said. "Your father wished to feed the clans, to end hunger. These seeds will grow into hope." And so, Delay and Evelate led their people to a new land, a place of freedom, a place of peace. Together, they planted those seeds, and from that soil a new world was born. And with that, the story ends.